embarked on a beautiful trip to Northern Europe. We start in Germany at Rostock, where we take a ferry on our way to the far north. Our destination is the town of Rovaniemi, close to the Arctic Circle. Our route takes us to Helsinki, Turku, the main cultural center of the year 2011, and on to Oulu. We cross the Baltic Sea on an ice road to the island of Haluoto. From here, we reach Kemi, where we have the exciting experience of sailing on an icebreaker. As a special treat, Manuela and Christiana get to visit the captain on the bridge.
In front of these chairs, they are radars.
Radars, okay.
One on the left is operating on a different scale and on a different transmitter, and the one in here is operating on its so-called 10 centimeter radar, which basically gives you just the best picture at the open sea, and also you are able to detect targets from a further distance.
During the second night, we're already crossing thick layers of ice. It feels like we're gliding over natural ice in a sleigh. Helsinki is the capital with a population of more than 580,000 people. This beautiful northern city is Finland's center of politics, economy, culture, and faith. Orthodox Christians have lived in Helsinki since the Russian rule. The main church is the famous Uspensky Cathedral. Helsinki covers an area of 715 square kilometers. But only 1/3 of this is land. There are two official languages, Finnish and Swedish. It is a Finnish custom to celebrate matriculation in a big public celebration. The graduates say goodbye to their school days by handing out sweets to children. Our travelers, Manuela and Christiana, get to enjoy some sweets too. Notably, Finland holds one of the top places in the PISA study. The principal of one of the schools explains their secret to success.
The analysis have told us that our comprehensive school system works well, but one of the key factors beyond that is the teacher education, which means that every single primary school teacher has to have a master thesis. I think that PISA tells the general level of education in this country.
In the center of the Senate Square is a monument honoring Tsar Alexander II for his Finland-friendly politics. The square is surrounded by a collection of wonderful classical buildings: the cathedral, the Senate House, the main building of the university, and on the south side, the Cederholm House, the oldest building in Helsinki. We arrive in Turku, located on the southwest coast. From the 13th century when it was founded until the 19th century, it was the most important city in Finland. The cathedral is the most significant example of church architecture in Finland. The best-known grave in the cathedral is the sarcophagus of Queen Karin Mensdotter. So people can go shopping even in the freezing cold, there is a heated shopping street. Every year, the Christmas blessing is read from the balcony of Brinkala House. This is done in Finnish and Swedish. The original document is kept at City Hall. Turku, like Temelin, the capital of Lithuania, was named Cultural Center in 2011. We asked the director of the museum if this building was only erected for the duration of the exhibition.
No, this was just designed for this year, and of course this will continue later on, but it will totally change. All this exhibition material will be gone.
The Cultural Center program was under the motto, Turku in Flames. It was a hint at the history of the city being plagued by fire catastrophes. but the program is also there to honor the artistic dynamics and creativity of Turku. Covered in deep snow and remote in a beautiful landscape is the museum's village. Just outside Turku, you will find one of the typical sauna landscapes of Finland, an ideal place to recuperate and relax. Naantali, a typical summer destination, presents itself beautifully in snow as well. Something really special is the Sunborn Princess Hotel, a converted luxury yacht. We decide to explore the Finnish countryside on a snowmobile. The wide spread of the land and the amount of snow makes a snowmobile one of the common means of travel. Christiana and Manuela thoroughly enjoy it.
It means slow down a bit. Some hard point to drive, maybe a little bit bumpy or going like this. Then I make like this. If I show you like this, it means we are going to stop soon. So be ready to stop.
For the locals, this racing along through the snow-covered landscape is normal and a necessity to get from one place to the other throughout the winter. Here too, there are traffic signs that should not be ignored. Summer or winter, fishing demands a great deal of patience, sadly, with little success.
Oh yeah. Too small for two families.
Of course, beautiful Finland has its fascinating cuisine. What is for us a beef stew or roast is there an elk stew or a reindeer steak.
You could add parsley, but we don't. It's not what we consider should be eaten with it.
Oh, thank you.
Lappi appetizer.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.
In the vicinity of Oulu, we cross the Baltic Sea on a layer of ice 70 centimeters thick. Between mid-November and March, this is no problem. We were given the following information.
And we are starting driving this ice road in November this year, last year, and we will end, it's about March, depends the winter. Now it's a very hot winter.
It was about 40-45 centimeters when we could open this road official. And nowadays it's about 70 centimeters thick. You can drive with a vehicle about 4.5 tons.
On our route to Kemi, we stopped to look at the island of Haluoto, connected to the mainland by an ice road. Starting in the harbor of Kemi, traveling on an icebreaker is a very special experience for anyone. A still open small channel in the beginning, we very quickly reach a totally frozen sea. It looks so easy watching the icebreaker cutting a new channel. We recommend being equipped with clothes that can withstand Arctic temperatures. The temperatures drop below -30 degrees Celsius, and it seems even lower considering the wind chill factor. As a special treat for tourists, there is a fun pool for ice bathing. Looks like penguins walking. A bit clumsy, but is great fun. Without help, we would not get out of here again. Huskies are not all that strong, but amazingly persevering.
And huskies, they want to run all the time. So even if you stop the sled, they are trying to pull sled.
So you have to stand
so
on
be,
there.
Yeah, be aware of
On
that.
the brake.
Because when you go away from the brake, they start running immediately. And if you go away from the runners, you lose your friend.
Huskies are the sled dogs of the north. It is great fun just to let the 6 dogs run and let them pull you through the deep white snow. Wolves, polecats, the ever-alert lynx or Arctic fox all live here in a spaciously designed nature reserve close to Rovaniemi. Polar bears, however, are kept separately. Here you can experience how animals from this region live in an almost natural environment, but still protected. At the end of the day, we arrive at the exceptional Ice Hotel. Here you can stay just the night, but you can also get officially married. Hopefully, marriages that have been celebrated in this beautiful cathedral are not as cold as the place they were officiated in. It is important that the bride has the appropriate wedding dress. And here, the elegant wedding bed awaiting the happy couple.
So when do you start building this hotel and how long does it take you?
We start building the snow hotel middle of November, and it takes about 5 to 6 weeks to build the snow hotel ready. It's a kind of once in a lifetime experience to sleep here because here is no heating system. It might be minus 40 degrees outside there. We used about 15,000 cubic meters snow, and there is nothing constructions inside the snow hotel. It's only snow and ice. Middle of April we close the place because here is water on the floor. It doesn't look good anymore, and we just let it melt. End of June everything is totally gone. There is only kilometers of electric cables and hundreds of lights. I pick up those and it's totally clean table for the next winter. It starts from August when I start to making the plans, and when the weather is about 10 to minus 15 degrees. Middle of November, we start making the snow again. Every year we make it totally different kind of design, the ground plan, because it would be too boring to make it same kind of every year. This hotel, it was the crazy idea, nothing to do, too much snow. And this is what happens.
From the cold, we quickly find our way to heat and heart, and with this to the Finnish tango. As passionate as the Argentinian version, but sung in a yearning minor key. Not many of the happy notes from the major key. The dance expresses the fire of the northern soul.
The Argentinian and the Finnish tango are very different in form. In the Argentinian version, the dancers leave more space between them. The steps and the music are different as well. Here, we also dance the tango in dance halls.
After warming up with a tango lesson, Manuela and Christiana visit a spiritual place. They visit Irene and her husband, the knife maker. This is a spirit. This is the village with a church, and this is the sun, and here's a man with a drum. We have these drums in Norway, Lapland, Sweden, Finland, Russian Lapland, and in Canada the native people use this type of drum as well. Ari, her husband, is well known in the Rovaniemi region for his Finnish knives and cups.
Lusiikka tulisi tuosta ja kun tulee tätä
The northern knife maker shows us how he measures the elk antlers and then the crafting of the knife. Every knife maker has his own design. Every knife is unique. A puukko, the famous Finnish knife, doesn't have to look good. The first priority is for it to be functional, but that doesn't mean it can't look good as well. Here in this place are tools made in the same style used by their forefathers, like these martini knives, famous and coveted all over the world. The knife maker tells us that in the past being a knife maker was a very important job, since knives and cups were essential to survival.
The thread is similar to the gut strings of a tennis racket. In the past, reindeer tendons were used. Today, we use other materials. They are man-made and last quite well.
The crafting of a knife varies. It depends on the size and the detail.
This is an everyday knife. It is used for fishing and hunting. You can skin game, as well as using it around the house or when camping.
Erämiehet käyttää hirven nylkemiseen sitä. Eli tämä on semmoinen yleinen käyttöpuukko.
I carve a hole in the stem. After this, the wood will be boiled for 24 hours in a salt solution. This is done to achieve the beautiful brownish color. A significant amount of time is spent grinding in order to achieve a nice shape.
Seuraava työvaihe on sitten pienentää tuo, hivattaa luu Ja sitten tämä
The final sanding is done by hand.
sellainen 400 pehmeällä tyynyllä saadaan semmoinen nätti pinta siihen ja sitten ulkopuoli käsitellään semmoisella öljyllä, että
The last part of the work is to apply a layer of oil to preserve the wood and give it a nice shine.
Not far from Irene and Ari's house is one of the typical Sami villages with wooden teepees. Here Manuela and Christiana learn about a special ceremony.
Es doet niet zeer wit. Ik snijd bloos 5 centimeter. Met mijn instrument hier. Kan je angst maar dat steriel
According to legend, a cut in the neck deters bad spirits, and everything bad will leave.
Had ik vegetar? Ja, het komt goed erin. Dat is maar dan hula hula. Oh, ja. Steriel maken.
It goes on. The marking on the forehead with ash marks the location where the antlers will grow in the later life as a reindeer. Should one remove the markings too early, it could happen that the antlers start growing immediately.
Diese Marke hier, Sie müssen das noch behalten 6 Stunden. Sonst kommt schlechtes Gas wieder zurück.
Certainly at the end of our tour, there has to be the essential visit to Santa Claus. As befits such a visit, our 2 ladies are traveling in a sleigh pulled by reindeer to the official home of Santa Claus at the Arctic Circle. Inside the building, there is the legendary time clock. Santa Claus stops time there every year, so he can visit all people in one night to deliver their presents.
Guten Tag, hello, hello.
All the letters written to Santa from around the world are answered individually in a special postal center, staffed by elves. Here at the end of their journey, Manuela and Christiana become Santa's trainees. Finally, it is time for the 10-hour return trip to Helsinki. Looking forward to the comfortable train trip starting in Oulu. During the trip home, Manuela and Christiana reminisce over their 4,000-kilometer-long journey of wonderful experiences.